All right, we're just going to jump right into it because I don't have time to have a countdown. Hey, how you doing this morning? Happy Tuesday on the Morning Night Live. It's going to be a short show because I had a lot of stuff I had to get done this morning. And so here I am, and we'll have mainly going to talk about education and kind of other silly stuff. Which, can you guys hear me? I didn't even look to see if I hit the button. Did I hit the button? Yes, I did! Boomer Vision in full effect. So anyway, not going to talk about a lot of trending stuff. We'll just get into the news. The news. We'll explore the news. Anyway, that's it. We're going to go ahead and stop this music. Johnny, will you play the intro, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yep, that's me. Stop the music. Oh wait, I gotta do something. Hang on. Just realized I forgot to do something. Give me a second. There we go. I'm fixing that. Bam, and here comes my face. Hello. Good morning, and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where people are arguing about race shit and stuff. And I got a question for you, because yesterday, you know, that little Montgomery, Alabama brawl, you know, the guys where all the people came to the rescue of that security guard who was, you know, for whatever reason, this bunch of guys in the boat decided to attack the security guard, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Those are some great Americans taking care of a man just trying to do his job. And I wasn't paying attention to all the stuff that's supposed to be racial about it. I mean, there were some jokes, you know, the Django jokes and shit like that. But I was just like, I just don't even know. It's like, I just saw it as, you know, some idiots attack a security guard and a bunch of people came to his rescue. And apparently people are talking about it being this, that, and whatever. I know Treat She is making some suspected white supremacist attack a security guard. I was just like, yeah, that's some karma. You attack a security guard and some good citizens come to the rescue of the man. Good for them. So, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone criticizing the people who came to that security guard's rescue, but apparently some people think there are. And I haven't found them. But anyway, now, if some people who like to post fights not necessarily post that one as much, you know, someone's complaining, oh, the Hodge twins haven't talked about this yet. Well, the Hodge twins will talk about it. They're just 3 or 4 or 5 days late on everything because they're very cautious about when they post, and they like to make the video, whatever they do. But I was like, I haven't seen anyone saying that wasn't a good thing that those people came to that security guard's rescue. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't spend enough time. But a lot, you know, especially on Black Twitter, people are like, oh, how come they're not talking about this one? They talk about every other fight. I don't know. Whatever. So anyway, that's that. Let's say good morning, everybody, and then get in the show. First over on, oh, hang on. See, I'm so late today that I don't even have this set up. There we go. First over today on Rumble would be our friend Avocados Diabli. Who gets the bell? Also, good morning, Jimmy Das, Mike Savage, Blarg, and Phantom Dog Fart. Get out there and retweet the show. Let's get Marty some of that X ad revenue. Look, I don't know how these people spend so much time on X, aka formerly the app formerly known as Twitter. You know, I do spend a lot of time because that's where I get a lot of my stories for shows and stuff and news. But man, some of these people just post constantly. Like the Krasinski brothers, they like post like 8 or 9, 10 long posts a day. I mean, obviously they made a job out of it. They made $24,000 off it each. on the first payout on X. But I just say, share the show. That's all I care about. Share the show, because it's that helps me out. And thank you for saying that, Jimmy Doss. First over on YouTube is Somnambule Nation. Gets the bell. Also, good morning, Avocados Diabli. Also, Tyrannus. Alexandrius. I hit the wrong button. The Invictus Lich. Good morning, my friend Trippy Liberty. Tyler, what the hell happened there? Why did that reset? What the hell happened? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but my entire notepad over here reset. Good morning, Trippy Liberty, Tyler F. Let's see. Who else is here? I'm so late. I'm sure the people just said, oh, he's not going to do it today. Who knows? Simon Wolfwood, good morning, sir. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. Aaron Meredith. I think that's everybody. Those ain't real dudes here. Good morning. Bishop, what's up? I won my Supreme Court case last night. Took 48 years. What? Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I might have to get some details on that, Bishop. You might have to send that to me over on the Twitter X thingy, whatever it's called. Also, good morning, GDSOB, fake news expert. Good to see y'all. And my for whatever reason, my cloud bot's still not working right. But anyway, if you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live, other ways to sponsor the show, hit the like button, share the stream, do all that stuff. And on YouTube and on Rumble, it helps. Every little bit helps. All right, let's get into what little news I have time for today. I'm not sure why. Well, Derek Chauvin's trending. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because one of the other officers that was kind of involved with that has sentenced Total, the cop who was present when George Floyd died, 5 years for apparently being there. I mean, look, I don't know if he was 57 months in state prison. Here's the judge sentencing him. Let's go take a look at that. So move Ace over here. Wait, what the hell? All right, we're gonna put this in its own separate tweet or separate link, whatever you call it. Let's see, full screen. This is why my fake producer needs to become a real producer. Sometimes doesn't go. So here it is. Total sentenced in Minnesota. Here's the video from the recount.
Total, to be perfectly honest, after 3 years of reflection, I was hoping for a little more remorse, regret.
What do you want?
Responsibility.
What is his responsibility? He's just holding people back from the scene. He doesn't know what's going on behind him. I don't know.
I'm not going to,
I can understand why Chauvin got
rehash all the facts from my order.
I don't know.
Which I found that the things you did and the things you didn't do make you guilty of this crime. I'm not going to rehash all that. Suffice it to say that I think your culpability is less than Mr. Chauvin, but well above Mr. King and Mr. Lane as an experienced senior officer who was in the best position to save George Floyd.
Yeah, they all had terrible situational awareness. Hello, Next Gen Troll.
That a sentence at the top of the range would be condign punishment. So as to count 2, having been found guilty by the court of aiding and abetting manslaughter in the second degree, after a trial pursuant to Minnesota Rule of Criminal Procedure 26.01 Subdivision 3, judgment of the court is that you are convicted of that offense. Count 1 is dismissed pursuant to the negotiation. You are sentenced to 57 months in prison with credit for 340 days already served. This sentence will be concurrent with your federal sentences
Oh, who didn't turn off the phone in the
Or
courtroom?
served at a federal facility
Good
designated
Lord.
by the United States Bureau of Prisons. Upon release from your federal sentence, you will be transferred to the Minnesota Department of Corrections to serve the remainder of your state sentence unless alternative arrangements are made with the United States Bureau of Prisons. Your provided DNA sample is required by law, and you are prohibited from possessing firearms and ammunition for the remainder of your life. Pay a $50 fine, $75 surcharge, and $3 law library fee from prison wages.
Oh, good Lord.
Any questions?
Oh, no. God bless you, sir.
All right. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, he got 57 months because he was the one who was holding back bystanders. Now imagine, here's the thing. If George Floyd would not have died, he wouldn't have been charged with anything. And I don't know. He, again, situational awareness. I can see why maybe a manslaughter charge would be in order for him. Him being one of the senior officers, they're training. The other two guys were trainees. And I thought I don't think George Floyd should have been found guilty of all three charges, but certainly the manslaughter charge, because it's, again, his job is to bring a suspect in alive. And had they recognized that George Floyd was failing and at least attempted to revive him, I don't know what would have happened. But anyway, that's a tough case. Can't deal with it. Hello, Resolute Germ. Good morning, Zombie Teddy. Good morning. Who else came in? Sleazy, what's up? And Cool Frog, what's going on? Cool Frog, did you get my message? I think I replied to you. We'll talk later. Anyway, so that's one of the breaking news items that I did catch up on. Also, let's see what else here. So apparently I don't know when this is from. Is this new? So someone was in court talking about Joe Biden and the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And I'm not sure what this is from and when it's from. But it's Cheryl Rex, who's mother of Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, was, I don't know if this is a hearing. I don't know what this is, but let's listen to it real quick.
When Joe Biden, our elected president, entered the room, when he approached me, his words to me were, my wife Jill and I know how you feel. We lost our son as well and brought him home in a flag-draped coffin. My heart started beating faster, and I started shaking, knowing that their son died from cancer and they were able to be by his side. Also wondering how someone could honestly, be so heartless to say he knew how I felt a little over 24 hours and learning of my son's death. After this encounter, I have never had any personal correspondence, nor has my son been honored or his name spoken by this commander-in-chief or his administration on what I feel is because of their failures and poor planning to exit our troops from Afghanistan.
Okay, so anyway, this is I guess she's recounting her experience when, the only time that the president spoke to them about the withdrawal, the failed withdrawal, I should say, and how her son died. And unfortunately, he was still talking about his son dying and coming home in a flag-draped coffin. Well, yeah, maybe coming home from the hospital. I mean, look, Joe Biden's been through the loss of, his first wife, another child, Bo, dying of cancer before he died. So I understand that he's had tragedy in his life, but it's just weird that he keeps telling people that, his son died in Iraq or wherever he was. Anyway. All right, I'm going to move on. It is Twitter Tuesday, by the way, and every once in a while I just have, there's tweets that you go, oh my gosh, this is this is the golden tweet of the day, and this one had to be it. I don't know when this is from, a couple days ago, but someone with the pronouns in her bio says, there is a special place in hell reserved for cis women who terrorize trans women. And this response may be the best ever. Give it 2 minutes and trans women will be begging for access to that too. That is unbelievable. That's the greatest response ever. All right, that's my Twitter moment. What else I got here before I get into the news? Let's see. Apparently, the Biden administration, or the Department of Justice, is also starting to go after some people who, as far as January 6th is concerned, is going after a journalist now. At least that's what this Steve Baker, it says Steve Baker TPC. The DOJ is potentially looking to prosecute independent journalist Steve Baker, which is from at TPC4USA, for his reporting on January 6th. Baker joined Emma Robbins to detail how the FBI and DOJ have been harassing him. Now, this is a 12-minute long clip, but I'm just going to go and read what he wrote about it. I did no violence, property damage, or parading on January 6th. I behaved as a journalist and followed the story where it went that day, period. Anyone who has followed my work knows I am not even a Trump supporter. Today, 2.5 years later, I received a grand jury subpoena. Grand juries do not investigate misdemeanor offenses. They have requested that I not disclose the existence of this subpoena. Sorry, I let the cat out of the bag 3 days ago. The fact is, they know the story I've been working on for 10 months, and I'm about to drop. They are not going to stop it from coming out. Their timing for this action is fully transparent. So apparently he's going to drop a story about his experience reporting on January 6th. And so they got a subpoena going for him. But he added, as an at, the little at sign, Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, and Joe Rogan. Media sources, feel free to DM me to schedule an interview. I'm ready to tell all. So, and then someone's asked, did you have press credentials? The First Amendment doesn't require credentials, but I have over a 20-year history. What's stopping you from dropping your story now? It's complicated. Stay tuned. I feel free. I support you. I'll even help financially if you need it. But this is the result of voting for Biden. He's been a 30-year liar, and everything we know today, we knew if rumblings in 2019 and 2020. What? That doesn't make sense. So the people that voted for Biden voted for corruption in the DOJ. So anyway, and he said, I didn't vote for Biden. But anyway, so this guy is a journalist now. A grand jury, though, that means they're trying to pin a felony on a journalist for journalisming. So, well, yowza. Anyway, and in fact, let's see. Well, here's part of this. He was talking with
exclusive footage that day, much of which he has shared with his followers and even offered to the DOJ via his attorneys, that contradict the official regime narrative being used to target thousands of U.S. citizens.
Now, okay, so he was there. Okay, I'm going to show you this picture here because if you look on the right side of this is before the violence with the police started happening. Remember, see, all these people are here with their flags and stuff, and the officers there. Notice there's no violence happening at this point. And I keep telling you how when I was watching this, and I've watched other footage, there's plenty of footage that shows that these people weren't initially fighting with the police until the police threw 2 flashbangs into the crowd, and then the officers on this line began beating people with their clubs, with their batons. And that's when all hell broke loose. And that's interesting because these people, they're yelling at them.
In D.C. that day, all the way from the Rally of the Ellipse to inside the Capitol. Steve's footage showed Capitol Police firing into the crowd and spraying protesters with pepper spray. He called the Capitol Police drawing their weapons at the south side entrance of the Capitol, where he had this notable interaction.
Are you going to use that on us? Are you going to use that on us?
Somebody fired shots
in here, so we're clear to...
You're going to use that gun on us?
If one of you guys has a gun, then that's...
None of us have a gun.
Okay, thank you. That's why I'm trying to tell you, stand aside.
We got cameras.
Okay, so anyway, you can watch that whole 12-minute segment, but I'm just, that's amazing to me that now they're going to try to go after a journalist. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to keep up on that story because that's very interesting to me. All right, let's move on. What's this one? Julie Kelly is following the case down in Florida. This is interesting. Judge Cannon down in Florida, who's doing the documents case for Donald Trump, she's asking some questions of the prosecution and of the defendants, but apparently, where is it? Oh, shoot, this is not it. I didn't do the right tweet. Oh, here it is. Well, here's the story Julie Kelly wrote here. Why is this? No, thanks. I don't want to do that. There we go. Judge sets Trump's classified docs trial date. So now what? A jury trial is scheduled to begin May 24th in Southern Florida. Judge Eileen Cannon appears poised to keep the special counsel Jack Smith team in line on what she designated a complex case. Amid concerns about voluminous discovery and restrictions related to the viewing of alleged classified material, Judge Eileen Cannon set Monday, May 20th, 2024, the trial date in the special counsel Jack's case against former President Donald Trump for unlawfully storing government records at his Mar-a-Lago residence. Smith appointed appointed by Attorney General Merrick Garland on November 2022, indicted Trump last month on 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's where is it? Here's the part what I wanted to get to, where she is not tolerating the DOJ's bad behavior. I'm going to skip a little bit here because a lot of it's just preliminary stuff. The day before the July 18th hearing, Smith filed a motion seeking an extensive protection order against CIPA guidance. The special counsel's office indicated the government would attempt to prevent Trump from viewing some of the alleged classified documents. The defense shall not disclose classified information to the defendants other than materials marked provided to Donald J. Trump absent written permission of the government. Now, Canada denied Smith's proposed protective order and scolded the government for presenting an unripe motion. Bratt insisted he attempted to confer with defense prior to filing the motions. Cannon was having no part of it. So you tried to confer on a Friday before filing on a Monday something that is presumably quite important? That seems a bit rushed, Cannon told Bratt on Tuesday afternoon in her Fort Pierce, Florida courtroom. She also forced Bratt to backtrack on his claim the government didn't plan on keeping certain documents away from the former president. There's an exchange there. Now, when defense attorneys argued the amount of unclassified discovery already produced by Smith's team, more than 1 million documents and 9 months of video captured by Mar-a-Lago security cameras to start required extensive time to review, Bratt countered that the defense only needed to watch roughly 10 days of security footage identified by Smith's team as relevant, and Cannon quickly interrupted. This is the judge. She said, defense would have to review all of the footage to be properly informed about the scope of the footage. I mean, it's not the case that they're going to zoom in or whatever on whatever period of time the government isolates as critical. So they gave him 1 million documents and 9 months of video and said, well, you know what? They don't need time to go through it all. They just need to go through this period of time. Well, then why do you have 1 million documents and 9 months of discovery? That makes no sense. So she said, no, they could have time to go through all of it. Now, it's not the first time Cannon, appointed to the bench by Trump in 2020, has clashed with Bratt. Cannon presided over Trump's lawsuit last year seeking the appointment of a special master to handle the 13,000 pieces of evidence taken during the FBI's 9-hour raid of Mar-a-Lago in August 2020, which resulted in the seizure of 102 files with alleged classified markings, as well as personal items, banking records, and medical files. Admonishing Bratt and the DOJ in general for leaks to the news media and the mishandling of privileged material In the early stages of the investigation, Canada appointed a special master in September. The investigation and treatment of the former president is of unique interest to the general public, and the country is served best by an orderly process that promotes the interest and perceptions of fairness, she wrote in her September 5th order. The court is mindful that restraints on criminal prosecutions are disfavored, but finds that these unprecedented circumstances call for a brief pause to allow for neutral third-party review to ensure a just process of adequate safeguards. And I think that might have got overturned, her ruling on that, because they appealed it. But she then denied the DOJ's motion to put her order on hold pending appeal and threw some shade in the DOJ in the process. The court agrees with the government that the public is best served by even-handed adherence to established principles of civil and criminal procedure, regardless of the personal identity of the parties involved. It is also true, of course, that even-handed procedure does not demand unquestioning trust in the determinations of the Department of Justice. So, good for her. Anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff that they're going back and forth on. She's not letting them just have their own way. That's interesting. That's a good thing, I think. And so there you go. If you want to read the article, it will be in the links, like everything else I do on this show. I'll have a single link called the one-tab link. I'll put it in the chat at the end of the show on both Rumble and YouTube, and it will be in the description of the video, the replay on both Rumble and YouTube. So. Let's see. Reaccion Puerto Rico sent me this story, and it's just a quick one. So apparently, a former senior FBI counterintelligence agent who worked in the Russian interference in the 2016 election hoax is attempting to negotiate a plea deal over charges of violating economic sanctions and money laundering related to his work for Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska. So one of the senior agents he's in trouble for money laundering. Hello, Mrs. Hancock. How you doing? So yeah. So it's just kind of funny. The story here is in Rolling Stone. Ex-FBI official set to plead guilty to illegally working with Russian oligarch. You know, I got to thinking when I saw this. I'll link that. I'll put the Rolling Stone article in the links too, even though Reaction did that already. But yeah, this was one of the agents working on the Russia probe. Hey, and I was thinking about something when I read this story. You know how we always call these people Russian oligarchs? How come we don't call people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or Mark Zuckerberg American oligarchs? Because they kind of, they're super rich people who kind of do the bidding of the government at hand. I suppose you can call Elon Musk that, but he seems to be a gadfly. Is that what it's called? A gadfly? Yeah, gadfly in the, he likes to stick his fingers in the government's eye. But anyway, so FTG to that Charles McGonigal, the FBI agent. Fuck that guy. All right, and then Hillary Clinton decided to tweet something. I think she needs to stay in hiding personally, but she's getting in on the Bidenomics train. She tweeted this. Was this yesterday? This morning. This morning she tweeted, Bidenomics in action. We've regained all the jobs lost during the pandemic, plus 3.8 million more. How many months? He's been in office for, 24 plus 7, 26. So he's been in office 28 months? No, 32 months. He's been in office 32 months. 3.8 million jobs. So that's a little over 100,000 a month. Now if you don't watch job numbers all the time, you would know that that's pretty anemic. But anyway, so we've regained, at least she didn't say we have 13 million new jobs, because the Biden and, what's her face? The knee pad lady, Kamala Harris, they try to tell you, oh yes, we've created 13 million jobs. No, you regained the jobs from the pandemic, which were mostly in blue states. Because remember, a lot of the red states didn't even close at all. A lot of the red states opened back up early. Florida opened back up early. Texas opened back up early. Because Gavin Newsom keeps saying this too. He's saying, during this recovery, California has created the most jobs of any state in the nation. No, you haven't. You shut down your whole entire freaking state. You in New York, that's almost all those jobs, a large majority probably from those two states. That's why you have the most new jobs or whatever. You'd shut down the most jobs. So anyway, a lot of people replying to Hillary Clinton here though, which is hilarious. Did I say oligarch? It's oligarch. I said it right, didn't I? I don't know. Hello, Special K. What's up? Okay, so some people answered Hillary Clinton. Oh, she also added, businesses have added 170,600 new clean energy jobs since Biden's clean energy plan passed. Wait, clean energy plan? What clean energy plan is she talking about? Oh, does she mean the Inflation Reduction Act? That was a clean energy bill. It wasn't an Inflation Reduction Act, because what inflation is? I suppose inflation is down from its high to, or it's going up. The cost of living is going up less fast. But anyway, and then she said unemployment has dropped to its lowest rate in nearly 50 years. Well, yeah, because that's where it was before the pandemic. Unemployment was already at a low, and it was going lower. And so, yes, we've recovered from that. That's great. All the states open back up and, whatever. So anyway, some people have responded to Hillary Clinton. Inflation has only risen about 40% to accomplish all of that. Yes. And then Scott Adkins says, and destroyed the border, and depleted our strategic reserves, and abandoned hundreds of billions in military equipment, and given away more than $100 billion to Ukraine, and weaponized the DOJ and jailing his political opponents. Some legacy. Yes, that's Bidenomics. And here is a picture of Bidenomics in action. This is I don't need the music. Turn that music off. This is Bidenomics. Oh boy, Bidenomics in action. That's beautiful. All right, and then let's see, what else did someone say? There's people just making fun of Hillary. How do you take credit for jobs that Trump created that went down during COVID? Well, at least she didn't do the 13 million jobs that Biden keeps tweeting about and Kamala Harris keeps tweeting about. So anyway, for sale, not the car. That's a pretty good meme. For sale, not the car. So add up the 8.6 inflation rate. Okay, that's last time whatever. So anyway, the Democrats are intent on selling Bidenomics. Could you imagine if they had tried selling? Well, they did try selling Carternomics. They called it the malaise, the great malaise, as opposed to the great mayonnaise. Anyway, all right, let's get to the main topic of the day. California is doing some weird stuff, and so I got two articles on this, and it's almost evil. So there was a school district in California that voted that if parents, if your kid is at school and they decide that they're going to change their name or change their gender, change this, go to the different bathroom, they're just going to, the parents are going to be notified that their kid's talking with somebody about this, right? Like, parents should know, right? Like, parents should have some rights, know what's going on with their kids if they send them off to your stupid ass school. I should know what's going on with my kid at your stupid ass school. Well, the California Attorney General has launched a probe into the district that voted to alert parents if children identify as trans. Parental rights advocates say California's top cop is trying to stifle dissent. Well, yeah, that's true. California Democratic Attorney General launched a probe into a school district that plans to alert parents if their child starts to identify as a different gender. Critics say he's trying to stifle opposition to the state's LGBT agenda in schools. The state's top cop, Rob Bonta, said Friday he's exploring potential legal violations by Chino Valley Unified School District in Southern California, alleging that its parent notification policy could, quote, expose a student to parental abuse or increase their risk of self-harm or suicide. The Chino board voted last month to reject state guidance that urges schools to keep student gender exploration hidden from parents. They're doing it in my state too. These motherfuckers, I tell you. Let's see. This is a ploy to scare all other school boards across California from adopting this policy. Chino's school board president Sonia Shaw told the Washington Free Beacon, "We have united all over California, and people from all over the nation are linking up to protect our kids and ensure parental rights. They did us a favor and just revealed more of their agenda and exposed their intentions." Now, Bonta's investigation comes amid a spate of Democratic crackdowns on parents and school officials in the name of LGBT ideology. Don't forget the Q. And actually, you know what? Here's the thing. They always wrap it up in LGBTQI plus 2A elemental P ideology, right? When in reality, it's not the L, not the G, it's not the B's. It's all the T, Q's, and the pluses who are trying to force this on you. Because most of the L and G, B people are like, yeah, we don't need those books in this school. We don't need more backlash from stupid shit. Anyway, Governor Gavin Newsom condemned Armenian parents in Glendale who protested against their school district's decision to celebrate Pride Month. He also threatened a $1.5 million fine against different Southern California school boards, a different California school board that rejected an LGBT-themed social studies curriculum. Why? Why are we doing this? Hello, Jesse Leanna, reaction on Puerto Rico. Why? Rejected an LGBT-themed social studies curriculum, a move that lacked the legal grounds to make, which ultimately led to the board to backtrack. Which, oh my God, dozens of California school districts are considering policies similar to Cheetos, said Jonathan Zacharson, Northern California school board member and parental rights advocate. Not one of these, Murrieta Valley Unified School District in Riverside County, is poised to pass its own version on Thursday. There are plenty of school boards in California that understand the importance of parents' play in their children's lives. Oh, do we now? Do parents have important roles to play in their kids' lives? I'm glad some people understand that. And plan to pass a similar policy, Zachert said. I don't anticipate these school districts being deterred by Bonta's baseless investigation. When the Chino School District trustees approved the parental notification policy on July 20th, they drew a rare in-person appearance from State Public Schools Chief Tony Thurman, who condemned the move and tried to take over the meeting. Bonta also sent the school district a warning letter saying the policy may violate state and federal privacy laws, although he failed to cite any relevant statutes or legal precedent. So you're telling me that if a 7-year-old comes in and says to the teacher, I am a 7-year-old boy says I'm a girl, and you tell their parents that you think that that's possibly in violation of privacy laws? Whose privacy? Of a minor? Whose privacy? If you tell their parents. This shit's getting out of hand. I'm just telling you. Let's see. Lance Christian, Vice President of Policy for the California Policy Center and a 2022 Republican candidate for public schools chief, said the investigation shows that Democratic leaders are doing the bidding of left-wing activists by trying to silence parents in any way they can, whether it be through intimidation, bullying, lawfare, or a massive disinformation campaign. The California Justice Department missed a deadline for a Free Beacon public record request for emails discussing Chino's case, saying Friday that an extension is needed to consult with multiple components of the department with a substantial interest in the records requested. So the Free Beacon didn't give them time to respond in a full, robust manner. The department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So here's the thing, though. A statewide poll in June found that 62% of California voters would support a law requiring schools to tell parents if their child is identifying, requesting to identify, or being treated as a gender that does not align with their sex. It says biological sex in the article here. The sex biological is redundant. Biological sex and sex are redundant as far as this way it is in this particular usage. So anyway, the second article I have in this is how Gavin Newsom's latest attack on California parents is pure unalloyed evil. Oh, this is an opinion piece. Let's check this out. What's happening right now to California parents is no fairy tale. It's a damn nightmare. The story goes something like this. Once upon a time, parents possessed natural parental rights due to the legal and biological bond with their offspring. Then, the big bad state wolf came for their parental rights, and by the end of this story, in true Grimm's fairy tale fashion, the state plans to throw parents into the oven and then eat the kids. His little one. Okay, that's an interesting metaphor. It is a little wonder that California Senator Scott Wilk warned during a public hearing, if you love your children, you need to get the fuck out of California. Okay, he didn't say it exactly like that. Real quick. Thank you, Jimmy Dawes Hotep. You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. Jimmy Das Hotep says, I couldn't bring myself to send my kid to public schools with current dangers. I do not trust anyone who's intent on making my kids their kids. They're kidnappers of the mind, and it only takes one bad actor or manipulator at a moldable time in their lives. Yeah, give me some of that for Jimmy Das Hotel. It's just so hard, man. They think they decided what your kids should know, and you have no right to tell them. Excuse me. You have no right to tell them otherwise. Are you crazy? Excuse me. So, nowhere is this evil more clear than in the way the state has gone after the Chino Valley Unified School District School Board for having the audacity to support parents' right to know if their children are being thunderstruck by the left's latest social contagion, transgenderism. California Governor and Attorney General Rob Bonta are wielding their legal hammer and sickle to I didn't catch that the first time. They're wielding their legal hammer and sickle to cleave children from their parents in the name of civil rights. Bonta sent a letter to the Chino Valley Unified School District on Friday to threaten that school district's board with a civil rights investigation if it doesn't walk back its recent policy to tell parents if their children is having weird ideations like if they think they were born in the wrong body. I didn't realize the other article didn't say they were bringing on a civil rights violation. Okay. Civil rights of a minor child. I thought the parents had some rights there. Now, if you want to see a discussion by a real psychiatrist who treats children and their families, watch my interview with on my Audit in the Room podcast with Miriam Grossman below. Grossman, the author of Lost in Transnation. That's a cute play on words. A child psychiatrist's guide out of the madness tells me that there are generally two groups of people who make up the overwhelming number of transgenders: older men who derive sexual pleasure from dressing as a female, and people who have known they were gender confused from their earliest memories. How long is that? It's an hour long. You might want to watch that though. It's interesting. But all of a sudden, young teenagers, mostly girls, who are egged on by peer groups and Dr. TikTok, are the fastest growing group of people who claim they are born in the wrong body. Strange timing, isn't it? When the less political cause of the moment and civil rights issue of our time cross streams. This 2024 election year wedge issue will garner votes to be sure, but guess what's disappearing? The parents. It's imperative to note that this is an all-out attempt to Bigfoot local school board. What? To Bigfoot local school board. It's imperative to note that this all-out attempt to Bigfoot local school board relies on a child's self-diagnosis. And that's the other thing. A child self-diagnosis. This is crazy. It's no coincidence that this self-diagnosis is helped along by their peer groups and the aforementioned and esteemed Dr. TikTok. You think these people who call themselves educators would recognize this sick fad for what it is, but apparently they can't get enough of the monetizable dumb ideas. Both Newsom and Bonta are tossing beanbags at the head of the school board members who do not adhere to the Church of the Left's tenets of beliefs. Those beliefs have been rearranged recently with transgenderism now eclipsing global warming. We're all going to die predictions from these educators and that scowling foreign teenage girl. Speaking of which, kids on the autism spectrum are far more likely to be coaxed into believing they're transgender for a variety of reasons. So anyway, it goes on talking about how the same deal with the letter to the school boards, they're going to try to go after them on a civil rights violation. I would love to see that go all the way to the Supreme Court. But anyway, all right, let me get into my last few quick hits because I'm almost out of time here. Well, I am very close out of time. In Virginia, a library director has resigned after parents called for defunding over pornographic children's books. The director of a Virginia Public Libraries resigned following demands from outraged parents that the library be defunded over pornographic children's books. Michelle Ross resigned effective immediately as director of the Samuels Library in Front Royal in Northern Virginia Thursday. The move came during an emergency meeting of the Samuels Public Library Board of Trustees who accepted her resignation. The board is 100% behind Michelle's decision. We understand that it's the best thing for her health, and her well-being. We wish her well, said the Board of Trustees President, Melody Hotek. Not to be confused with Hotep, okay? The library board has appointed Eileen Grady, a 21-year veteran of the library, as interim director and hopes to have a permanent director within 6 months. Early this summer, a grassroots coalition of concerned parents and others called Clean Up Samuels petitioned for the removal of a slew of books they found objectionable, dozens of which they say are pornographic. Clean Up Samuels has also called for the library staff and board of trustees to be replaced. On June 6, hundreds of parents and others packed into a Warren County Board of Supervisors meeting to protest the controversial children's book. Nearly 36 speakers called for defunding of the library if 34 pornographic children's books remain on the shelves. Many parents from the area's robust Catholic community spoke during the public comment portion of the meeting. So now this is interesting because this is in a public library versus a school library, but still, I mean, is this supposedly these are children's books with illustrations of sexual acts? So I don't know. Okay. In the name of inclusion, it's oh my gosh, it's just so insidious to me. It's so insidious. This is like, backdoor exploitation of kids, and there's no pun intended whatsoever there, believe me. But I mentioned I have my big cup of coffee today. I need it. All right, let's go lightning round on my last few articles because I'm not going to be able to get to them. I'm going to let you know what's in there or what they're about. And let's see. Apparently, there's a school district that puts misbehaving kids through diversity training instead of suspending them. Oh, good Lord. A California school district is encouraging its staff to send students who deserve suspension or expulsion to training detailing diversity and implicit bias, according to documents obtained through a public records request by parents defending education of parental rights in education organization. Training provided to veteran staff include forums that offered alternative punishments to suspending students, including courses on care and hate behavior. Although well-intentioned, heavy-handed programming like POAs is often counterproductive because it demonizes and shames participants, leading to backlash while failing to actually change individuals' underlying opinions in their hearts, alienating employees who now understand that to their district they are the enemy because of their wrong think. Okay, whatever. So that's that's brilliant. We're gonna put kids who should be suspended or expelled through diversity training. Well, what if they're already diverse? Do people who are diverse, do they need diversity training? Because there's diverse means one thing, okay? It means you're not white, as far as I'm concerned. in the New York Post, they have more on this this riot that happened in Union Square when Kai Cenat, I think is his name is, was gonna give out a whole bunch of free shit, and the crowd got unruly. And there's an article in here called "Union Square Melee Proves Riots Have Little to Do with Real Political Grievances." Yeah, because there's no grievances that even in this riot. Well, here's the thing. Like college football championship, that celebrations that turn into riots, I have nothing to do with political grievance. It has to do with crowd behavior. And sometimes crowd behavior gets a little out of hand, and that's what happened in New York. This was not about political anything. Just people got a little crowd mentality. In Breitbart, okay, that's the officer who got convicted. We already talked about that. This is an interesting article. Today's blacklisted American Chase Bank politically cancels the accounts of several doctors, their families, and their employees. JP Morgan is back to debanking. Once again, it's not providing any explanations, and once again, it's targeting people who dare question the left government woke business conspiracy against liberty. It's at about the same time it appears Chase debanked without warning Dr. Syed Haider and Joseph Mercola, but not just them, but also Dr. Mercola's employees and their families without explanation. These debankings don't come without context. You may recall that last fall, Chase debanked senator, ambassador, and a governor. So pretty well respected. Senator Brownback's Religious Liberty Organization after having debanked General Flynn and a series of other conservatives. Chase got called on the Brownback debanking and first stonewalled and then lied a half a dozen times about the reason for the debanking and then went back to stonewalling. That's relevant again because what do you know? The debanked doctors turn out to be conservatives too, or at least they're sufficiently opposed to the woke big government, big business monolith that they were willing to question the efficacy of the lockdown regime. So they're still at it. Some of the banks are still debanking people. That's crazy to me just because, it's like, what does you putting deposits in their stupid ass bank have to do with their, your right to, look, you got to eat and you got to be able to pay for shit. And they tell you, nope, we're getting rid of your accounts. That's crazy. Crazy shit, man. All right. And then finally, the last article I have here, apparently police are investigating 7-Eleven workers who stopped a would-be thief. So this was a viral video the other day. There was a guy that was robbing a 7-Eleven for the third time in a 24-hour span. And some employees of the Sikh religion basically beat the crap out of them because they're like, stop stealing from our store. It was the third time that day. And apparently now they're being investigated. The men defended themselves by beating the would-be thief. Remember, he pulled out a knife. The man had already robbed the store twice before in the 24-hour span, yet the workers are part of the investigation. Stockton police said witness video of the July 29th robbery and assault has now linked all the investigations. They said that after their investigation concludes, they will forward the findings to the San Joaquin County District Attorney for review. So let's just hope that their brains prevail and they don't do something bad to these guys. I'm sorry. That's just so stupid. Anyway, before I go, I've got a few thank yous before I get out of here. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, Swamp Fox Ghost, Somnambule Nation, for all of you tweeting out the show. Please share the stream, even though it's over. Share the stream. Someone might watch it and say, hey, we should go check that out when it's live. Or they just watch it. That'd be cool. I'm fine. There's something interesting in here somewhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I gotta go. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Did I ever tell you about Lady Boomer's surprise party? I didn't tell you about that yesterday, did I? She had no idea. When we came back from the cabin, there were people at our house waiting, and they decorated the house, and she came through the door. I had the video on it. I might put that on my other channel. Just her walking in, and all she saw me was by the dishwasher because we put all the decorations where she couldn't see when she was walking in. And then she got around the corner by her kitchen, and she's like looking at me like weird. And then she looks over and she sees her mom, and everyone's like surprised. She almost pissed herself, she said. So anyway, I gotta go. Thanks for being here. I'll be back tomorrow and tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We're just under 3 weeks out from my surgery, so I don't know if you'll see more of me after that or less of me for a few weeks. Probably see me a whole lot more of me because I won't be able to move around a whole lot. So I might as well just stream and see if you guys, feel bad for me and shit. But that's it. We'll be here the rest of the week, 10 o'clock Eastern, roughly, depending on how soon I get home. But it's sometime usually between 10 and 10:30 Eastern. I got the thing going. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. My name's Dawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.